Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade,
And I'm Joe.
and we're here for the fourth. This is the fourth attempt to do this episode.
It's almost cursed.
Yes, the first week we just weren't prepared. We watched it one time, and we're like, I have no clue. We cannot do an episode. We're not prepared. The second week was
The COVID scare.
A COVID scare. Third week we record an episode. We record this episode, and no sound is recorded at all. So we're here for the fourth time to cover Tarkovsky's Mirror from 1975, a most recent Blu-ray release of this film.
Sort of.
Back in like October or whatever, when we're doing the horror horror month. So we're here again to talk about this film.
Yes,
a very confusing film. It's both a simple and a very confusing film at the same time.
Yeah. It's it's semi-autobiographical.
Sure.
From what we're told. And the way they tell it is very dream-like, I would put it.
Yeah. It's two time periods, or multiple time periods.
All mixed together.
Do you know which one's which? I don't know. Maybe.
Not until you're partway through the scene and then it cuts again.
Yes. And then, like, okay, the black and white is the past. No, it's the present. Oh, okay.
I mean, the movie, and we've talked about this before. It's just a lot. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to process.
We watched this 4 weeks ago, and I'm still processing the film.
We watched it several times.
Yes.
You and I, and we've seen Tarkovsky films before. We kind of knew what we were getting into.
Yes.
We know he's a very poetic filmmaker. We know he likes to linger on those longer shots. We know he likes kind of strange editing
Surrealism.
choices. And still, we weren't ready.
Yeah.
We weren't ready for this one.
Yeah.
And
it's dense.
It's a lot. And it's a very personal project for him. I think it does touch on things. I don't know how accurate it is, but it does touch on things that happen, in his life pre and post war, and just kind of where he lived. And I just love. I mean, the score is much more present.
Yes,
and you
a
can't
a lot of classical themes with the I think Purcell was one of them. Bach, a lot of classical score kind of themes.
And one of the many things you can't escape with a Tarkovsky film is excellent cinematography.
Yes.
One of the most iconic shots is looking out the house, watching the neighbor's house burn down.
And it's even before that where they have like the kids walking out of the house. It starts with it's like a red, warm, colored tone, temperature. And as they're walking outside, it becomes more of a blue and cool. And it's just like, wow, that's just wicked, direction. It's more of, I wouldn't say it's a straightforward narrative movie. It's more of a kaleidoscope of memories.
And that's what it comes off to me. It's very fractured, and like I said, it's very dreamlike to me. It's like remembering something while dreaming, and kind of visiting between past, present, future, all at the same time.
It's like a kind of a delirium.
Yeah.
Where you don't know, sometimes memories blend in together.
Yeah.
The movie is self-reflective, but maybe it's self-reflective as a mirror or a broken mirror in this case.
Yeah. One of the things one of the things that stood out to me is, remember the kids in the house, in the apartment. There's a knock at the door. He goes and answers the door. And then the old lady's inside the house. And then she's gone. And then there's nobody at the door.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that just... that's all in the same scene. Makes you question what's real and what isn't. But, again, to me, it's very dreamlike, very surreal. And it's it is and it isn't at the same time.
Yeah, it's a very complex kind of scenario where it's like simple but not. It's the idea of, you know, regret. There's a little bit of ideas of what makes a life.
Yeah.
Is it how you're brought up? Is it the historical events? Like, for instance, this one's like World War II. Like, if it was our age, probably 9/11 and the Iraq War and all kinds of stuff. Like, does that define who you are? Or is it the relationships you forge and eventually break? What is it? And it's all of them, kind of like in one, but it's kind of like trying to figure it out throughout the movie.
Yeah, it's a lot, and you're gonna watch it, then you're gonna have to watch it again. You're gonna have to think about it.
And watch it again.
Probably gonna have to watch it again.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to think about it some more. And I don't know if there ever is going to be a straightforward answer for this film. I
don't think I want one.
I think everybody's going to take something different out of it.
And that's the magic of cinema, really. It's the magic of...
And it's what's crazy is we're talking about a single person story that now is completely different based on perspective.
Yeah. Whether it's wearing the those rose-colored glasses of nostalgia or trauma or anything like that, like, it can change the perception. It can definitely skew it.
Yeah.
It's also kind of like, is this like a narrator we can trust?
Yeah, I mean, we had that one timeline that doesn't really happen. Like, it was just something that could have happened.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how I feel. And also the performances are great.
Yeah.
You have like the person who plays the mother also plays the wife. So it's kind of like they're playing two different roles, but they look very similar, but they feel very different.
Yeah. I'm sure Freud would have something to say about that.
Well, we gotta hit him up.
Yeah, call him up.
Next week
1-800 Freud.
Next week we're gonna get him as a special guest for Criterion Connection.
I'm sure
we're gonna do that. It's just gonna be Scott in a wig,
be a hand puppet.
So Joe, I mean, it's hard to really discuss this film. It's a film that you have to kind of watch yourself.
Yeah,
it's in the Criterion channel, so you can watch it, or you can buy it on Blu-ray and DVD, or Blu-ray or DVD.
Yeah, and it's for those like to me the movie kind of comes off like Akira Kurosawa's Dreams. But the one caveat with that is Kurosawa's Dreams is kind of a more logical anthology film where you take that and just intercut everything into one story.
Yeah.
And that's this movie.
Yeah. And it's seamless.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the cinematography, it's seamless on how the past and the present blend in.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating for some people, but...
The best example is when they're in the field and you have the young mother. She's like laying down and then she looks to like kind of the background. And then you see her older, but with the two sons walking, and then it's back to her reacting to that, and it's like they almost see each other by the way it's cut.
Yeah.
And it's just very strange.
Very strange, but kind of beautiful at the same time.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It's a Tarkovsky film, so of course it's going to be meaningful cinematography. So Joe, I mean, I guess the main question is, would you recommend this? Well, let's just split this question in half. Would you recommend this for the general audience or cinephile? Or would you recommend it for like general like cinephile who would watch this program?
I wouldn't recommend it to a general audience. It's just a lot.
Would you recommend it for kids? They just got out Clifford the Big Red Dog movie, and would you recommend
They might understand better than I do.
That's true. But
I just don't think it's a movie that the general audience would latch onto, because it's difficult. It's not that it's deceivingly, deceiving the audience. It's not that it's one thing or another. Like, I don't know if I get it.
Yeah, you gotta put
It's just really difficult.
You kind of have to put the work in, and you get rewarded.
Yeah, but and even cinephiles, like I'd hesitate to recommend it. I'd say if you're a hardcore Tarkovsky person,
Yes.
or if you're a cinematographer, go ahead and watch it. But like you, I you'd have to. I think you'd have to sit down and watch a few Tarkovsky films first, and then watch. I don't know. I don't even know if that'll prep you. It's like how we talk about David Lynch. You know, where we have this like levels of like you start here, then you work your way to here. This is certainly not on the beginner side of the Tarkovsky scale.
No, I feel like you gotta work up to this. I feel like probably a starter would be like Stalker or Solaris. Those are kind of the starters, I think.
Andrei Rublev.
Yeah, and that one's kind of dense too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you should not.
It makes sense.
I think what we're trying to say is this movie is not the gateway to Tarkovsky.
No.
It's not.
But it's a beautiful movie, and I think a lot of people get stuff out of it looking at stills and seeing somebody like write about it. But if you want to experience it, go track it down.
It's on Criterion Channel. I watched it through there.
It's great transfer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, great transfer.
But yeah, I hesitate to recommend it to really most
Joe
people.
Schmo.
Easily not to the Joe Schmoes, but even experienced watchers would struggle.
I'd say give it a shot. It's also only 90 minutes to an hour and 40 something minutes. Like it's a lot shorter than most Tarkovsky films.
True.
So I mean, if you have the time, I'd say do it. You know what? Screw it. General audience, go watch it. I'll do the recommendation. Screw it. General audience, watch it. And if you are a general audience member that is watching these things just to kind of expand your palate or whatever, leave us a comment down below what your thoughts of this.
This will expand your palate.
Yeah. Leave a comment if you are not the general audience and you are like a cinephile or a big Criterion fan or a Tarkovsky fan. Comment down below what your thoughts of this film are.
I just want to know what people think.
Yes.
It doesn't even matter. Tell me I'm wrong all day long.
And I don't think this is a film that you can't be wrong. I think it's a film that, well, I guess you could be wrong. Completely wrong. But, like, it's a film that's, like, I guess Tarkovsky said it's like art. Like, it's kind of like, it's your own interpretation because this film was not popular when it came out.
No.
To the Soviet Union, they were like, nope. But it grew. It was a groundswell, and people latched onto it. So yeah, be sure to subscribe and share this video. This is the last Criterion Connection of 2021. So next year we have 2022, a whole year, and frankly, it's kind of a blank slate. There's nothing really on the schedule. So you guys making your suggestions, we're gonna dust that thing up, and we're gonna start doing some of them. So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm still Joe.
And we'll see you in 2022.